Welcome back to Tales Unplugged. Where we left off last time was a real cliffhanger. Rose, just staring at her phone, totally clueless about who swooped in and saved her family from, Donald Brennan's wrath.
Yeah, talk about a way to end an episode, right? And in this one, oh boy, it jumps right into the thick of it. Rose is on the phone with her dad, and get this, he's totally convinced that she's the one who pulled some strings.
Oh, the irony is just too rich. One minute he's laying down the law, even threatening to unleash Lucille on the situation. And then, the next thing you know, he's singing her praises, convinced she's got friends in high places. You can practically hear the gears turning in his head as he reassures himself that his daughter's got some serious connections.
It's a complete 180. So naturally, Rose is left with this, this mystery on her hands, like who did come to her rescue? We're right there in her head as she runs through the possibilities, and it's almost like a mental checklist. Betty, Stacy, Joe, Ben. Each name, it's like it represents a certain level, a rung on the social ladder.
And remember the whole Metro Skybank card thing? Like, the fact that Alex doesn't have one of those exclusive black cards, well, that's it. He's instantly disqualified in her eyes. It's almost sad, Like, poor Alex, he wouldn't know true social currency if it slapped him in the face. At least not according to Rose's, shall we say, unique worldview.
It's like genuine kindness, genuine concern. It doesn't even register on her radar when it comes to him. But hold on, just when this whole mystery starts to get really good, Rose has a light bulb moment, Zane.
Talk about a blast from the past.
It's like our resident social climber completely forgot about her old school friend. Out of sight, out of mind, right? Well, until now, that is.
One phone call with Zane, and suddenly he's transformed from this, vaguely familiar face into Rose's knight in shining armor.
And Zane, being the modest guy that he is, he's not going to shy away from taking credit, is he?
Oh, no.
He casually drops the fact that his dear old dad is practically best buddies with William Chase. William Chase, the president of the New York City Merchant Union, as one does. But seriously, the way he just throws that name out there, it's so calculated. It's all about emphasizing his family's connections and, by extension, his own importance. And you can tell Rose is eating it up.
Totally. And here's where it gets interesting. Zane's grand entrance at Rookie's Lodge. The way he carries himself, the air of, shall we say, inflated importance. He fully expects to be treated like royalty. And you know what? Rose and her friends, they deliver.
It's amazing how quickly perceptions can change, right? One minute, Zane's just another face in the crowd. The next, he's practically royalty in Rose's eyes. All thanks to this carefully crafted persona and a few well-placed name drops. Makes you think, it's almost like she's seeing him through these, rose-colored glasses, Everything's magnified, his family's connections, their status. And anything else, well, it just fades into the background.
And poor Alex, right? Talk about a classic case of mistaken identity. He's the reason she's off the hook, the real reason, with his hidden wealth and all. But it's like none of that matters because it didn't happen on this grand stage of social prestige.
And I think this is where Tales Unplugged really hits on something deeper. I mean, It's showing us the danger of mistaking appearances for substance. Rose is so caught up in Zane's little act, she can't see how shallow it all is.
It's all a performance with him, isn't it? He's playing a part, this role he thinks he's entitled to. That whole scene at Rookie's Lodge, the way he just gasks in the attention, the subtle little demands, it's such a contrast to Alex,
Absolutely. Alex, he's all quiet generosity, no need for the fanfare, recognition. It speaks volumes, doesn't it?
It's like that saying, all that glitters. Well, you know the rest. And honestly, part of me just wants to shake Rose and say, wake up, don't you see what you're missing?
But it's a trap we all fall into sometimes, isn't it? It's human nature to be drawn to that, that allure of status, of influence, even if it's built on, on shaky ground. We see a glimmer of what we think is success, and we latch on, hoping some of it will rub off on us.
That's true.
Yeah.
But what gets me is Rose's behavior, it just seems so, empty. There's no internal compass guiding her. She's so busy chasing external validation that she's missing the real deal, the genuine connections right there in front of her.
And that brings us to a really important point. What is true worth? Zane, with his social climbing and showing off, it's all hollow. It's all surface, no depth.
Totally. It's a facade, a carefully constructed image, all for show. Alex, on the other hand, he's got that quiet strength, the real substance.
He doesn't need to prove anything. His actions, they speak for themselves. And that, I think, is way more powerful, more lasting than any amount of social climbing.
And you see it most clearly at the end, right? Rose at Rookie's Lodge, the way she treats Alex. Ooh.
It's brutal. Like, she's physically pushing him out of the way to make room for Zane. And the lengths Alex went to for her family, what he sacrificed. It's kind of heartbreaking.
It makes you wonder, like, what does she actually value? It's like loyalty, selflessness. It's all meaningless compared to, being seen with the right people.
And that's the thing about this episode of Tales Unplugged, right? It's not just a story. It's like, it's holding up a mirror, making us ask ourselves, how often do we do the same thing? Getting caught up in appearances, valuing the people who project this image of success over those who actually, walk the walk.
It's a good point. And the thing is, Rose is totally oblivious. She's got this whole narrative in her head, Zane as her knight in shining armor, completely missing the real hero right there beside her.
That's the danger of putting appearances above everything else. You focus on the facade and you miss the substance underneath. Rose is so busy chasing this warped idea of success, she's missing out on real connection, real friendship.
It makes you wonder, will she ever figure it out, see the truth, and how's she going to react when she realizes that the person she just dismissed, he's the one who deserves her gratitude or respect.
That's what we're left with, isn't it? This reminder that life, it's messy. It doesn't follow a script. And sometimes the people we least expect, the ones who don't fit our neat little boxes, they're the ones who have the most to offer.
So as we wait to see what unfolds in Tales Unplugged, maybe it's a good time to, look around our own lives. Are we looking past the surface, valuing authenticity, the real deal? Or are we, like Rose, chasing after something that's ultimately empty, blind to the treasures right in front of us?